All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about a pretty slick climbing combo that I used last year when I wasn't one stick climbing. And that is between the Tethrd one sticks that I have and also the Backwoods Mobile Gear GC1 three-step movable aider, just a tad over 3.5 pounds, easily gets you anywhere between 21 to 22 feet high. So I already have on my channel a review covering the Tethrd one sticks and my thoughts. I believe that video is called Tethrd one sticks, next level sticks. And in my opinion, they are next level sticks. I was working the Harrisburg Outdoor Show earlier this year and I seen some of the revisions and improvements they made to this stick. And it's still of my opinion that this year with those improvements, the Tethrd one stick is going to be the benchmark or the stick to beat. And so if you haven't seen that review, swing over to my channel, check it out. But enough about the Tethrd one sticks. Let's talk about the Backwoods Mobile Gear three-step movable aider. And before I show you this in action, let me first comment about the quality. The same is true with the Versa aider that I purchased off of them and also the Nader Swader combo. When you get products from Backwoods Mobile Gear, you can see that there is a lot of love packed into their products that they're shipping out. And what I mean by that is there's not a stitching out of place. Everything is just put together extremely well. Their products just scream quality control, and you can see that they put a lot of pride into their products. And for me, that's important to me, and I appreciate that. And so that's something I want to point out about the Backwoods Mobile Gear products. You will see that when you purchase their products, that they're extremely well made. Let me give you some close-ups and then run down the specs of this aider, and then I will show you how I personally use this and set this on the tree with my one sticks. Now this is a three-step aider version of the GC1, but you're able to specify how many steps you want whenever you order this from their website. The GC1 aider comes in at a 15-inch step-to-step distance, and then at the top step of the aider, as you get ready to step onto the one stick, that step distance is 12.5 inches. The two-step aider is $49.99, and the three-step aider comes in at $64.99, and it weighs, the three-step aider weighs somewhere right around that 11.5 to 11.8 ounces is what I have been coming in at consistently. At the top of the aider, you will notice two sewn loops, which are double reinforced. The loops are attached and held together by a bungee cord wrapped in a sheath, which is what holds the loops over top the ears of the top step of your one stick. The black bungee cord then continues down for about 40 inches, and at the end of it, it has a plastic belt loop clip that you attach to your belt loop, or you can even girth hitch it to your saddle, your lineman's loop on your saddle. So as we continue to move down the aider, you will notice that just below the bottom step of your stick, there is a support step that has been added. And by support step, I don't know what they term it, but basically it's a hard piece of plastic that has been sewn into the aider. And what that does is it basically sets the width of your steps all the way down this aider. And I like that because if that wasn't there as you stepped on the aider, the rest of this would just kind of wrap around your foot. But because it is there, it now enables you to get in and out of your aider steps very, very easily, and it just brings extra stability to the aider steps. And so I do like that. And then of course, as you move down the aider itself, you have 3 steps, or if you get the 2 steps that have been sewn in each of the aider steps. They have some type of rope or material in there that brings a little bit of rigidity to the step, which makes for easy foot placement and also comfortable foot placement. And so that is the general breakdown of the Backwoods Mobile Gear GC1 aider. And so what I want to do now is I want to show you how I set my stick and then also set the aider when I get ready to climb the tree. Now when I go to set my climbing stick onto the tree, regardless if I'm one stick climbing or using sticks, I do the same thing. I use some type of measuring mark. And for me, what that has been is the bottom step. If I can take, after I seat the stick, if I can get this bottom step to be right at my forehead height, that puts the top step of this one stick at 7 foot high. And then that also will put the first step of my aider at 24 inches high. And so that's a very good mark for me. I'm 5 foot 10 inches for reference. And so essentially what we'll do is, and I could get higher than this, but this is just a good stepping distance for me. I'll seat that. I'll just take the excess rope, put it back. And so that might be a little bit higher, an inch or two higher, but still that would put the top step, and I don't even know if you could see it, but that would put the top step right at like 7 foot 2 inches. And now, of course, as soon as you get your aider out of your storage, wherever you're putting that, the first thing you're going to want to do is attach that bungee cord via that plastic clip to your belt loop, and then you just simply reach up and slide the reinforced loops over the little ears of the top stick of your one step, and at that point in time you're ready to climb. And so again, this bungee cord is what enables this whole aider to be movable and to go up the tree with you. I also want to comment that for me, I generally like to hunt around 18 to 20 feet high, somewhere around there. I can go higher, but a lot of times in Pennsylvania, and especially in Kansas, when I go out there and hunt, if you get up higher than that, your shot window gets obstructed by limbs and trees very, very easily. So I'm somewhere around that 18 to 20 feet high. And I have found that if I take 3 sticks and the first 2 moves that I go, I'm getting 7 foot, that puts me at 14 feet. There's a lot of times that I just use my 3rd stick and I throw it on the tree, and I can gain easily another 3 feet just by having my 3rd stick without an aider. So that puts me at 17 feet. And I like to hunt around that height, again, depending on the situation. But then if I want to get higher, I'll just throw my platform another 2 feet higher than my top step, and I'm at 19 to 20 feet very, very easily. And that's using 2 moves with this aider. If I want to get higher than that, I'll just shoot up the tree 21 feet with 3 moves, and then I'll put my platform above 2 feet above my top step, and now I'm at 23 feet easily with this. And so it's pretty versatile. If you want to, you know, get to that 14 feet and hunt 14 feet, 2 moves, you're there. If you want to get to 17 foot, 2 moves with the aider, and then add your 3rd step. And so again, I really, really like this combination, and I have found myself alternating between 2 moves and 3 moves using this aider. When you are using a 3-step aider, the thing that you have to keep in mind is your balance and stability. So the longer your aider is, the harder it is to keep and maintain some form of stability as you're climbing up the tree, especially if your tree has any type of, you know, crookedness to it or lean to it. And so the thing that I do, especially climbing off the ground, some guys don't use their lineman's belt, or you know, if they're one stick climbing, their main rappel line until they're on the top of the stick. I just personally have gotten into the habit of right off of the bat using my lineman's belt, and it's really helped in just setting the tone as I climb the rest of the way up the tree, you know, using some form of safety and stability. But what I have found is that when I am using a 3-step aider, what I really like to do is, of course, I'll get my foot into the tree, and I'll take this very bottom aider step right here, and I'll sit it as far back in kind of the arch of my foot as I can. Because what that does is it sets the distance from, let me try to get my knee out of the way, the 2nd step to the tree, and then also the 3rd step up to the tree. It kind of sets that distance back a little bit. And so I'll simply do that. I'll set that in the tree. Now, the one thing I do like to do with this Tethrd 1 stick is, as I'm getting ready to climb, I just reach up and grab this top step. And by hanging on to that top step, you also are able to control to some degree your stability. But when you're using a lineman's belt, and this is just for some beginners, if you're watching this, what I really like to do with my lineman's belt is right here, right off the ground, is I'll stick that lineman's belt up about as high as I possibly can. And And then when I go to make my first step, toe into the tree, I'm simply leaning back into my belt. It's up as high as I can, and when I'm stepping up, I'm putting pressure. And you can see right here, if I was to move my foot, you can see the potential with a 3-step aider of movement. And that's why I have stability here with my top step, and then I have stability by leaning into my lineman's belt. I'll put my second foot in, and then from here I have some form of stability. I'm going to simply hang on with my right hand to the stick, and I'm going to again lift that lineman's belt as high as I can. And so what that does is now when I push off with my right leg here, I'm leaning into my belt and I got stability. My third leg goes up. I'll simply again hang on to my stick, adjust my lineman's belt, and then I can climb on up. Coming down, it's the same thing. When I go to come down, I'll always keep some form of tension on my lineman's belt. I'll let a little bit out, drop it down, use my foot, kick out that aider, get my foot seated, and you can see again that my lineman's belt's holding me really nicely. I'll drop that down some, go ahead, step on down. My lineman's belt's keeping me pretty stable. So safety is important to me, and so I want to stress this on this video again. When you put your foot into the aider, go ahead and put that step all the way back to the bottom of your arch. And then when you go to set your lineman's belt, lift that lineman's belt up as high as you can. You can even tighten it here if you need to. Lift it up as high as you can, and use your lineman's belt coupled with the top step of your aider to give support. When I'm stepping up, I'm not stepping up like I'm climbing a ladder like this, because you see my lineman's belt fall down. When I am stepping up with this lineman's belt, I am pushing backwards this way, like so. So now this is always under tension. And you can just practice a little bit, find your zone, find your spot, but push back. I'm under tension. I can easily put my right foot in there. Everything's under tension. Pull this up. Get that lineman's belt up there again. Step up. There's no sense in rushing up a tree whenever doing these little steps. You know, literally take just a few seconds. Now I have found that when you're using an aider, it doesn't matter if it's a single step continuous loop aider, a Versa aider, an aider swader combo, a 3-step aider like you see here. For me personally, it has always been easier going up the tree than it has been coming down the tree. And that is especially true when you start getting into a 3-step aider. And so when I started one-stick climbing and rappelling out of the tree, I began to experiment. And the one thing that I now do pretty much 99% of the time is, it doesn't matter if I'm one-stick climbing or if I'm using climbing sticks, I rappel out of the tree. And there's a lot of benefits to that for me. One, you are always connected. It's easier to come down and just be hanging in your saddle, you know, chilling out and easily untying your climbing stick or untying your platform. And so I have found that I just essentially rappel out of the tree regardless of what I'm doing, one-stick climbing or using sticks. But I will stress again in this video, if you are not rappelling out of the tree, make sure you are using your lineman's belt correctly, and with a 3-step aider that you are stepping down with tension on your lineman's belt. If there were any cons, and I'm using that word lightly, but if there were any cons associated with the GC1 aider, it would be this, that by design, since you have to attach the aider to the top step of your stick and not the bottom step, like most 3-step aiders are attached to the bottom, because of this 18 extra inches of material, I think that you do lose some form of stability. I think that induces the ability to sway, or the aider to move just a little bit more, because instead of being attached down here at the bottom step, you're now attached all the way up here. So I think that it does induce a little bit more opportunity to sway, but that's also why I stress the importance of using your lineman's belt properly and always keeping tension on that. And as you saw right here in just a quick demonstration, you can navigate this 3-step aider and minimize any chance of kick out by just keeping your weight in your lineman's belt. And so that would be pretty much the only con, and again, I use that word lightly, that's associated with this GC1 movable aider. All right, guys, let me give you some final thoughts in regards to this combination right here. The Tethrd 1 stick coupled with the GC1 movable aider. The Tethrd 1 sticks, 3 of them, mine come in at 3.24 pounds. The reason for a little extra weight there is all 3 of them are wrapped in stealth stripping. They have stealth stripping back here on the back of the standoffs as well. This one has the Genesis 3D printing Versa hanger system, and then also all of them have the rope containment piece right here that holds the rope in place, your attachment rope in place. And so that's a little bit of the extra weight there in ounces. But again, 3.24 ounces is very, very good for 3 sticks. It's the best on the market right now. And then 11.5 to 11.8 ounces for this movable aider. That is on the heavy side for an aider, but when you see the quality put into that and the features built into it, you can understand why it's not going to be an aider that weighs, 3 ounces or something like that. This thing screams quality, durability, and also strength. This webbing strap is rated for 4,000 pounds plus, I believe it is. And so double reinforced loops. But again, I can, with 3 moves, be at 21 feet high. 2 moves, an additional stick, I can be at 17 feet high. And then 2 feet higher with my platform, I can be at 19 to 20 feet high, somewhere around there. So I have a lot of options in regards to how high up the tree I want to go with this aider setup. And so I used this again last year quite a bit, and I enjoyed it. I rappel out of the tree, but if you're coming down, I would suggest you again using your lineman's belt properly, as I have emphasized on this video several times. But again, for $64.99, you can use this with the Tethrd 1 stick, the Skeletors, and I believe even the Hawk Heliums. And so if you've been looking for an aider, I would say swing over and give this GC1 a pretty strong look. All right, guys, as always, if there's anything that I did not cover or you have questions, drop them in the comment section below, and I'll do everything I can to answer them for you. And until next time, good luck to you.